Hello, welcome to PlayStation Access. My name's Nathan. I'm here with Dave.
Hello.
Dave, we're at Gamescom.
Yes, we are.
Today, I played Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice.
Yeah, I know.
I
missed out there, didn't I?
I've played it, mate. I've played it. I think they gave it to the most qualified person. I gave it to the most qualified
Yeah,
person.
so that's right. That's what happened. Let's think about that.
I wanted to talk about one specific thing, because watching it and playing it, obviously two different things. And
I wouldn't know.
one of the things which really stood out, I think that... people talk about the Souls games, and there are obviously games which have been influenced by them, which are out now. We can talk about things like Neo and Lords of the Fallen or whatever, and these games often come with kind of a twist, and even Bloodborne came with a twist on the Souls formula in terms of combat.
Absolutely.
Sekiro has its own twist, and in fact it feels very... I think there's going to be ways in which it's very similar to the From Software's other games, but there is one way in which it's incredibly different. And
okay.
that's what I want to talk about, which is the title of this video, is about how the posture system changes the whole Souls formula.
Okay.
And it's not an outrageous claim. So Sekiro is a game about they use the word, it's shinobi. It's about ninjas. It's kind of it's a set in a kind of a fantastical version of period Japan. And you play a ninja with a prosthetic arm, a shinobi prosthetic, and you have a grapple as part of that prosthetic. And I want to just say, first of all, that changes the way the game feels right off the bat. So there are kind of points to which you can grapple yourself at any moment. You can, and it's very free. You don't have to be on the ground. You can jump. These points will become available, like a little circle will turn green, letting you know. You can grapple between them, sometimes in midair, sometimes not, and you'll get to know the distance between different points. It's a really kind of agile system, and you feel agile, and there are elements of stealth in the game. So first of all, I guess I wanted to say, there are no classes in this game. At the moment, it doesn't look like there's any kind of weight from, you're not going to be rolling slower. It's a nimble game.
Yeah.
It's much more, it feels much more of an action game than the previous games that I played from certainly in the Souls line.
Yeah.
And the combat system is based around posture. There's no stamina.
Okay. Oh, really? No stamina?
No stamina at all. You can do as many physical actions as you want.
Wow.
And in fact, there's almost like a reverse stamina. And what they wanted to do, I think, so they've talked about how the model for the posture system came from wanting to get the character of the shinobi in their game. So, shinobi is at the heart of the fact that your prosthetic works. You have a katana, which will not change throughout the game. That's your right-hand weapon.
Yeah.
And your left-hand weapon is your prosthetic, and you're going to be able to restructure it. So you might defeat a boss and get like a new kind of weapon for it.
Okay.
One of them in the build that I played today was like a trick weapon from Bloodborne. It kind of unfolds into an axe, and it allows you to do one big hit. There was also a kind of a flame and shurikens, but you're going to be able to get other ones, and they all work in combination with the katana.
Is that a decision you make? As in, do you have to? Do you get to choose if you accept a new weapon, or is it part of the story that you...
We didn't see any of the crafting system, so I would imagine that from the way they were talking about it, that it's optional. You're going to be able to kind of customise it, because you can't customise your character in any other way.
Got you.
But certainly, when we were playing it, you would select which one you wanted very quickly on the fly using triangle.
Right.
So I could switch between flame, shuriken, axe.
Yeah.
And the use of the prosthetic in combat is limited to how many paper dolls you have. They're like a little consumable. You might have between 10 and 15 at any moment. You get them from dead enemies.
Okay.
You might a very small bad guy might give you 3. And that means you can do 3 things with 3 attacks with your prosthetic arm. When you don't have any paper dolls left, you can't do any more, so you're just down to your katana and your wits.
Right.
I've been talking around the posture system. So I kind of want to talk about how the left and the right and the balance of the combat came through much more when we actually spoke to the developers than it did when I was playing the game. But the posture system, the reversed stamina system, is at the core of it, and basically what it means is... if someone strikes me and I block, instead of weakening my stamina, it weakens my posture, and instead of a bar depleting, I have a little bar that fills up.
Right.
It's at the bottom of the screen, and it moves outwards. So it's at the centre, and it kind of goes out in both directions.
Right.
And I can see it filling up. When I do the same to an enemy, the same happens to him, and I can see that happening. And then if I'm not touched and I walk away, gradually the posture bar drifts back to the centre.
Yeah.
The effect that this has is that when you have someone's posture, when you are aware that someone is nearly to the point of their posture being depleted, at that point you can do a shinobi, I think it's called an execution move.
Okay.
It's like a power move, which doesn't necessarily kill them, but will deplete their energy enormously.
Right.
And that is the only way, really, that I found that you could realistically defeat mid-level. I fought a mid-level boss for almost half an hour, almost my entire playthrough today.
Wow.
He was very tough. And my normal attacks were killing him, but very, very slowly. So you have to engage with the posture system. And so you get to the point where I would see that his posture was nearly depleted, but maybe mine's nearly depleted. And it's frustrating that you then see it returning to normal. And I'm looking at his attacks and thinking, is it the right kind of phase of his combat for me to nip in where I know I can get a blow in? The risk-reward element of it just becomes really, really apparent. You're risking how close you are to having your posture depleted, to how quickly you want to stun your enemy so that you can get in one of these powerful blows. You can deplete their posture just by making them block attacks, or you can wait for them to attack you and then parry. Parrying them doesn't necessarily put them on the back foot. So
Right.
they might have a 5 combo string and you need to parry every one.
Yeah.
If that's what you've decided to do.
Yeah.
Otherwise you're going to get hit, or your posture is going to be seriously depleted by blocking a move, or you're going to not block it and you're just going to get hurt.
Yeah.
And that's going to hurt your health. So it just turns the stamina situation upside down. And what they were trying to put into a system and into a combat system, what they're trying to capture was the idea of weapon-on-weapon combat. And I think they've done a really, really good job.
Right.
It's basically where I'm at.
Can I ask some questions?
Of course.
Because the word wanted to make sure that I've kind of understood this right, makes me think kind of like Neo, like how you have kind of like a high posture and a low posture. It's something that you can change to different states, almost different modes. Now, is that the same in Sekiro? When you say posture, do you adopt different postures, or is it just posture is the name of that bar?
Yeah,
basically?
It's much more like I have it in mind as the Dark Souls. There is what am I thinking of? You have a quality or a characteristic of poise
right
in your combat, and that is how hard it is to stagger you.
Sort of like you're cool, but
it's
also
literally
like a
how
physical.
It's almost like your balance,
right?
It's how on the front foot versus on the back foot you are within that. If you're stunned or staggered, effectively.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I understand now. It's your posture, as in like how good's your posture, and that, like you say, can be kind of depleted or stressed to a point where there's a chink in your armour almost.
Exactly, an opening. And I think that's what it's trying to capture, is that sense of swordsmanship is about not necessarily landing a blow, but outmanoeuvring and putting your opponent into an awkward position and then opening them up to a more severe attack.
And is posture depleted or gained? I don't know exactly how to put it. Just by doing attacks, as in you don't have to think, I'll do an attack now to damage my opponent, or I'll do a different kind of attack now to damage their posture.
It happens the same. Yeah, no, that's a really good question. So, like, I might be doing. The thing is, you can do a few other different combos with. Like, once you bring your prosthetic into it, there are loads of different combos you can do. You can do fire attacks, and you can do them in combination with your katana, and your katana goes on fire for a short amount of time. And if the enemy is, weak to those attacks, that will really hurt them. So you're thinking about all those things too. And yeah, when I was fighting the samurai, I was just thinking about nipping in and doing a very quick, just with like R1, just like a really quick slice with my katana. That is hurting his posture anyway.
Right.
And at that point, some enemies you don't really have to worry about the posture because they don't have enough health.
Of course.
It's only the bosses, and you will see there's little kind of pips above their health bar, because one of the elements of this of Sekiro is that you're actually able to resurrect, and so are enemies. They just get a whole other life bar.
Oh wow.
They don't really resurrect. They just their life bar just comes up
regenerates,
again. But I think it's because there's kind of a thematic element of you're able to resurrect, and then as you kill other people, your power to resurrect comes back. And just in the way that the Soulsborne games have a kind of strange lore attached somehow to living and not living.
Yeah.
This is kind of Sekiro's version of that.
Okay.
It's connected somehow to the power to resurrect, which is why instead of just having a really big energy bar, these enemies have got these resurrection kind of abilities.
I have one last question, which is probably quite simple. It's just the kind of execution maneuver that you talked about. Is that something you trigger with a specific button press, or is it kind of just automatic if you attack when they're...
That's a good question as well. I don't think I actually got it on the samurai, so we're not going to be able to show that, but I got it on some smaller NPCs, and basically they glow red from the centre, like a red kind of blur appears in the middle of their torso. You just press regular attack and you slice them up.
Slice them up, good.
Kind of attack them.
Slice and dice.
You put your sword into them and they die.
Well, this has been eye-opening. I'm honestly, like, that sounds very, very different, very exciting.
It's quick, and it's much more kind of fleet of foot and agile. I think people who enjoyed the challenge of Dark Souls and Bloodborne are kind of going to get into it, and Neo as well. You know, I think that is one of the few games which really came along with the combat system, which can be measured up to From Software's games in the same kind of genre.
Absolutely.
And this is just going to be a whole other fun thing to experiment with. It's going to be really good fun. Yes, okay, that's enough of that. So look, that is how posture is going to change the Souls formula in Sekiro. Shadows Die Twice. Resurrection there, right in the title of the game. Do let us know in the comments what you think about this and about Sekiro in general. Do like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to PlayStation Access. Hit that bell so you actually hear about our videos when we make them. Stay tuned to the channel. We'll see you soon.
For the players.